Shalom. This is LEVIMATHIAS again, bringing you another video. Again, I apologize, I'm using my webcam. I will start shooting with my regular digital. I have a digital that has too many megapixels, and my wife's camera is a 2.0 or a 4.0, and I can start uploading. I wanted to bring you some relevant information from yesterday's episode, speaking about the New World Order. The big thing in the news right now is the healthcare reform. What people don't realize about the healthcare reform is, as I had mentioned yesterday, there's an article in the healthcare reform that provides law that would require every American citizen to have surgically implanted in their right hand or in their forehead an RFID chip, which is a radio frequency ID chip with all of our medical information. We would be the first country that would make it law to require this. There hasn't been a date set as to when this would come into law. I imagine they'll do it in steps. The first one being that people that don't purchase health insurance would not be eligible for their tax refunds, and the second would be fines and or imprisonment if you didn't purchase state-approved health insurance. All of this is leading us to a point of a socialized government under the Obama administration to set us up in stages to bring us into the New World Order. The New World Order isn't anything that's new. It's been silently and under the scene been worked on by groups such as the Bilderberg Group that was formed in 1954. We have the Trilateral Commission, we have the Council on Foreign Relations, we have the United Nations, we have, of course, our CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and several other organizations, older organizations like the Bohemian Group, the Bohemian Grove Group people. You have the Luciferians, you have the Masons, you have the Freemasons, and there's a group of individuals that are silently herding us sheeple into a place of compliance where the state will be the sole authority. Obama has stated publicly and just recently that we are part of the world community and no longer autonomous as the United States of America. He's the first president that's done that. Under both Bush 1 and Bush 2, you had steps and measures moved into that direction. However, this president, who during his campaign claimed to be a Christian, couldn't be a Christian just under the certain things that he said concerning his views on traditional families, the abortion laws, his slams at the Bible, definitely his anti-Jewish and anti-Israeli stance. He's promised the Palestinian people Jerusalem, and he's really pushing for, he's really putting a lot of pressure on the Knesset and Benjamin Netanyahu in particular to stop the settlement building, to allow Israel to go back to the pre-1967 borders. So what we're seeing in the world today is we're seeing a reforming or a reformation of the world powers into a global entity of 10 separate units. Here in America, what we have is what we call NAFTA, or the North American Free Trade Agreement, whereby Canada and America and Mexico would become Region 1, and throughout the world you would have 10 regions ruled by one individual. Eventually that would be controlled by, in my belief and the beliefs of others, would be the beast system. And the beast system would be controlled by two individuals, one being the Antichrist and the second being the false prophet. The false prophet would be the individual controlling the one world religion under the new world order. Whether Barack Obama is the Antichrist or not is yet to be seen. It's my personal belief that he is the precursor to the Antichrist. The Antichrist, for people who don't understand, would be a man foretold in prophecy that would come and rule the nations by subjugation. He is also the first rider of the horsemen of the apocalypse mentioned in the book of Revelations. He would come in on a peace platform, but would destroy many with peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we're living in a pretty scary era. It's exciting as well, knowing that the return of Jesus Christ is imminent. Now, there's a lot of confusion concerning that. What we see in the Word is we see the rapture of the church, where the true believer, the honest, sincere follower of Jesus Christ would be taken up as a promise or a guarantee from Christ. He said that, comfort one another with these words, is what he said, basically, leading us to believe that we wouldn't have to go through the tribulation. In the Christian world, there's three dominant opinions. There's the pre-tribulation rapture, there's the mid-tribulation rapture, and there's the post-tribulation rapture. The pre-tribulation rapture, just to make this brief since we only have 10 minutes to do this and my 10 minutes is almost up, the pre-tribulation rapture would allude to the harpazo, or the catching away of the church before the tribulation occurs, before the peace treaty which the Antichrist will sign with Israel, guaranteeing their peace for 7 years, while at the same time he would break that covenant halfway through to demand that all, in the book of Revelation in chapter 13 it says, and that he would cause as many as would believe in him to take a mark upon his right hand or his forehead, that no man might buy or sell save they had the mark of the beast or the number of his name. I think it actually says, here's wisdom, let him that hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, his number is 666. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell save they had the mark of the beast or the number of his name. Now, what that would mean is that you would not have the ability to have any type of commerce. You wouldn't have the ability to buy or to sell without this chip. What's interesting about that is with this new legislation, with the health care bill that was recently passed in the United States, part of that would be the requirement to have that chip, and that's something that we're looking at happening within the next year or two. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode, since we have a 10-minute limit on this, and we'll continue to talk on the next episode. I apologize. I'm doing this all off, just off the top of my head. So in episode 2, in episode 3, or in the next episode, I'm going to read to you from the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And this is Jesus speaking to his disciples about the signs of his coming. So until then, shalom, peace, whether Jewish, Gentile, I love you. We'll see you soon. Shalom.